Hey guys, welcome. I don't, welcome. I hope everything's working. Make sure my audio is working. Is my audio working, you guys? Is everything working? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Whoops, sorry. Okay, I haven't done a live in a while, like a very long while. And I was like, you know what? I have some random stories that we can put together. Hey guys, I have missed you guys so much. I've missed going live so much. I have missed this format. I am using StreamYard today, so I'll be able to pop up some comments for those watching. This will be a members only chat. We will do this as a perk for all of my members, and it's just a way to say thank you for supporting the channel. If you would like to join the chat, you can either become a member or use a super chat. I have not done one of these in quite some time, and I feel like after the last few days, my members certainly deserve a perk for all of the love they have been showing me. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being here. Let's get started. Okay, so there's been a lot of stuff going on recently on the internet related to Lisa. And I feel like since I've had her on this platform, it would be kind of ridiculous for me to ignore the shenanigans that she has been up to. And part of what she's been doing is creating, I don't know, the Sideshow with her and this person named Amber who runs this page. If you remember, I actually had Amber on my channel at one point until I realized that what was going on between these two women was a tit for tat and really unhealthy. And when I started seeing the back and forth between them, I had one in my inbox and another in my inbox, and I was trying to like mediate between the two of them. I realized really quickly that they weren't going to leave each other alone. It had somehow become a game for them. For Amber, it was, this is fun. I want to do this. I'm enjoying getting at her. This is a game. If you remember, she said, this is so easy. Now, if you remember, Amber is the one that was able to sort of catfish Usman and was in his DMs and got Usman to say all kinds of stuff that, he was like calling her his queen and that he wanted to marry her and that when he got to the United States, he would just leave Lisa and be with her. And so between this and that, Amber has been running this page on Instagram where she basically just posts every single thing that Lisa does. Lisa, for whatever reason, refuses to leave it alone. I know it's hard when you have people sort of going after you to ignore them, but I told Lisa and I gave her the advice that the best thing you can do in situations like this is to ignore the trolls. They want to get under your skin. They want to make you react. They want to have the power. They want to get on your platform. And, she just said, I'm going to feed them until I choke. And I was just like, Lisa, girl, this is not going to be a good look for you. And over the past few weeks, it has gotten to a point where the escalation of this has gotten insane. And I actually just was in DMs with this Instagram page called 90 Day Fiance on Blast. And I let them know I will be sharing part of a video that they actually uploaded. So a couple nights ago, Avery and Lisa went live. Or Lisa and Amber went live, okay? And I was like stunned. I couldn't believe what was going on here. First off, it was late at night. Amber is like screaming at Lisa. Lisa's screaming at Amber. Amber appears to be intoxicated, and Lisa is making all kinds of threats. Now, this in and of itself was like, whoa. I mean, this is just not the kind of behavior that you would see typically online. And I want to point out that doing some digging into her background, Lisa was arrested multiple times for cyber stalking and harassment. So in the state of Pennsylvania, she had 2 or 3 arrests for cyber stalking in 2013 and 15 and 16. They involved, according to statutes, they involved a child. So apparently Lisa has a history of doing things to people through online means. And obviously that's slightly scary. And then at the same time, I think we can't be surprised by what we're seeing online. So all of this actually comes available. There's an amazing site that has all court documents for all records, and this is from York County. It's under Lisa I think Ovenland or Omenland. I can't read it, but it's under Lisa Ham as well. Her husband was also arrested for another altercation in 2016, and based on an article that I found, the cops in the area had said that there had been a lot of disturbances and contact with authorities at their location over the years. And Lisa has repeatedly stated that she was in a marriage that was very unhealthy. And obviously, if you're in a violent situation, you don't want to be in that situation. But at the same time, if you're in that sort of situation, does that give you the right to then go online and cyber stalk people? No. I am all for being critical of people and giving people critical feedback, but I don't think that we should ever take things to a level where we're sort of making threats or interfering with people's lives. Lisa has posted photos of Amber. She has posted a bounty. She offered up to $1,000 for Amber's full name. She has been doing all kinds of ridiculous things. But at the same time, Amber has been doing equally as harmful things by getting into the DMs of Usman, trying to trap Lisa into conversations where she gets frisky with guys. It's a damn mess. Well, it all came to a head, and I'm going to show you some of this in a second right now. Hold on.
Blake is.
Really, you're drunk, bitch. You just told everybody it's your husband and he knows everything going on.
Really? You think so?
I'm going to call him in a few hours. And I'm
Please do.
I will. Because, this will be like your third husband.
It's my third husband. You think so?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's just make sure that you know who I am.
I do, because the cop called you last week.
Really? How do you know that the cops called me last week?
Like you said, you had the cops in my house week. Didn't play the party or something?
Really? Are you sure that Sherelle shot me? Are you really sure?
I'm very sure, Sherelle. Very sure.
Okay. Well, as long as you're sure.
By the way, where were you on the tell-all, sweetie? You told everyone you're going to be on the tell-all. Oh, you said
no, I didn't say anything about the tell-all.
Oh, and you basically put it out on Reddit that this is what you do. You think you're a blogger. Sweetie, you got like how many pages stalking me?
Really? Are you
How
serious?
delusional are you, Amber?
Are you serious, Lisa? Really?
Really, Amber? Seriously, you're delusional.
I really appreciate the cameo.
Oh,
I really appreciate it.
Let me tell you something, drunk. Let me tell you something, drunk, okay? Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
You run your mouth. Now, you and people in your
I don't give a shit about your dusty ass husband.
Okay, so it goes on and on and on and on like this forever. It was insane. I couldn't even believe what I was listening to. And yes, I apologize for the volume. That was Lisa's volume. It was like that on the live. It was like that when the video was recorded. She was just lower, but she was basically like saying that she's called the cops on Amber, and then Amber admits at one point she's contacted the FBI about Lisa. Amber and Lisa go back and forth about Usman, and she calls him a dusty African. Like, seriously, terrible language. And they start talking about, like, oh, so bad. It was such a dumpster fire. I mean, I can show you more. It's just, it keeps going.
Okay? I don't give a shit about them.
He played you for a fool, Amber, and you
whatever. The truth is out there.
No, baby, he played you for a fool.
Okay, whatever you think. Whatever you
Baby,
think
everybody
is
knows
going to the embassy.
So
Just to
what?
let you know,
And
your
you know what?
husband
Why
is
you
never,
waiting?
ever, ever coming to the United States.
That's
Just
what
so
he
you know
needs
that.
to do. When he does, I'm going to be laughing in your face because you know what?
Good.
We're going to come
Do
together.
that. Do that.
Where is your husband at, you drunk bitch? Where is your husband?
I mean, it was like 40 minutes of this, just the two of them going tit for tat. But you guys, this is what's crazy to me is like part of a blogger's job. Now here's the there's lines that bloggers, I feel like we as bloggers we should just respect and not cross. And one of those things that I think is really important for integrity and for credibility is that you don't try to interfere in the story in that you create the story. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be trying to get Usman to tell you things or to fall in love with you. That's a manipulation. That's not something that you should be doing. It's not a natural occurrence. It's going into someone's life and trying to manufacture whatever story that you want to catch them for whatever game it is. When I had Amber on, she was playing, she said that it was so easy and it was a game. And she had admitted to me that she was doing this to other cast members and trying to get them caught in lies. And I was like, I don't understand this. This is weird to me. Like I have never sort of run my business that way. So there's this very problematic behavior for Amber. And then when she gets caught and she and Lisa have this falling out, she creates this like hate page for Lisa, just basically taunting Lisa. But then Lisa escalates and escalates and escalates, asking for a bounty, wants $1,000 for her name, wants to like report her to the police, will like not let it go. She's posting photos of her. She's posting information about her husband. She's putting her criminal record out. And I don't even know if it's her criminal record. At one point, she was posting some like arrest records for some lady named Amanda, who apparently isn't even her name. So, you guys, like, it's a freaking reality show. It's a reality show. Nothing in the world should ever be this serious. But the behavior by Lisa here is 100% problematic. And I saw this a couple days ago and I was just like, this is it. Like, I had already, like, was on Instagram Live about a week ago. Yeah, Lars Lass says, a blogger's job is to report on the situation, not to manufacture it. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. So I see this, and then there's this, like, people are angry at Lisa about her using the N-word, and I was on a live a couple days ago, maybe late last week, and she was in my chat. And all of the people in my chat were like, Lisa is here. You need to go live with her. And there's this push and pull of you don't like that person's behavior, but they're on the show that you cover. And you know that this is what the people that are your audience right now want to see. And so when I brought her on, I was trying to ask her the questions that you guys wanted me to ask her. And every question that was in there, I asked her. I asked her about using the N-word. I asked her about her problematic behavior. I asked her all kinds of questions. In fact, I was trying to almost get her to sort of stumble on some of the answers, because that's what I feel like a good interviewer should do, is that you ask tough questions. Now, immediately people were like, oh, Katie, you had her on and you're like, must be, condoning the fact that she said the N-word. Absolutely not. I think that's terrible that she would use that word. I told her repeatedly she should not use that word. That word should never be used. Ever. Ever. It's not okay. Not at all. And she would, like someone just said, she would redirect. Like she redirected and she gave no answers. And so one of you noticed that when I uploaded the live, I can't remember who it was in the comments, they said, Katie, it's like I see what you're doing. You're kind of trolling her in a way. And I was like, I was just trying to see if I could get her to answer anything. And, I'm trying to get you guys the information because, like it or not, she is on the show and she has the information that you want. So I was like, well, I'm going to try to make the best of this. I'm trying to get some deets on the tell-all, or have her like dish on how she feels about the kid, about the cast, or, you know, if she likes Ed. I mean, people were demanding that I ask about her blow up with Ed, and with her and Ed on, you know, the tell-all. So here's my question. We have some seriously questionable people on this specific season, okay? But she has a record, like a criminal record for cyber stalking. Like, that's crazy. Cyber stalking and harassment, like, that she pled guilty to. Why is that? Why would they be like, oh yeah, cool? And it's not like it was that many years ago. It was a couple years ago that this happened. Yeah, I'm a different person now. She's clearly doing that to Amber now. Completely doing that to Amber. And that's not okay. I can't imagine doing that kind of behavior to any single person. I feel like we should always respect other people's platforms and other people's blogs, and like let each person do what they want to do and tell the stories that they want to tell. But like, this is just extra. And so I was live on Instagram a couple days ago, and I was just like, dude, both of you guys are acting crazy. You guys are acting so unhealthy. Like, you need to decompress. You need to get offline. You both need to go, like, imagine being this invested in something and knowing it's so utterly unhealthy. And I was like, you guys need to go to your doctors. You do. Because this is not rational behavior. Because she kept going like, I'm going to choke. I'm going to make you choke on this. I'm going to feed you till you choke. Like, it's like this sick game for both of them. And I don't think, it's crazy to me. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking TLC probably doesn't care, because TLC is like, this is great publicity. People are watching it. She's a train wreck. It's going to draw people to the show. You know what I mean? But this is troubling. I mean, you've got cast members threatening bloggers and offering bounties for their heads, which is not okay. You should never do that. And then you've got a blogger that's seeking to destroy somebody's life, which is not okay either. Like, you should be able to share your story, expose what you want to expose, be critical of who you want to be critical of, but your intention should never be to hurt someone at all. Thank you, new members. Doris King and Carla Curley for joining the channel. I appreciate your support. So I want to know, like, what do you think about that? Do you find this as crazy as I do? Are you like, what the hell was Lisa thinking? Why would she do something like that? Why on earth would she even think of going there? Deshaun says TLC doesn't know what they're doing. They want the drama. Deshaun says TLC knows what they're doing. They want the drama. That actually doesn't surprise me. Like, I feel like they'd be like, this is great publicity. You know what I mean? Like, in the world of reality television, any sort of, well, they even say in blogging or in any sort of world, any publicity is good publicity, because anyone that's talking about you is talking about you, right? But as consumers of it, do we find ourselves sort of like pulling back and being like, why are we watching this? Is this healthy? And is this the kind of behavior we want emulated? And is it that it's just such a train wreck that we can't look away? So you've got Lisa on the show that has this problematic behavior and this criminal history, right? You have this woman who I interviewed yesterday who, Lorelai Clemens, who came out and discussed the fact that Ed drugged her and then, you know, did things to her against her abilities without consent. And you've got his non-response, and he's going live with young girls telling them that their breath smells pretty. Nicole says, because they make all the money, then we find out who they really are and they get fired, but TLC still made the money. This is very true. And of course, TLC's, and Mrs. FSU says, TLC ratings are way up for the drama. Of course they are. Of course it's up for the drama. Oh yeah, Nicole says she hires them. So it's kind of like, what? Ed says what to who? Oh, there was a let me see if I can find it. There was a live that he did a couple weeks ago, and he actually told a 13-year-old girl that to get her breath to smell pretty. It was really creepy. Let me see if I can find it. Might take me a minute here. Okay. They only market train wrecks to the TLC train. This is true. Okay, let me just get this pulled up and I'll show you this really weird like Instagram live that he did. And this is just so creep. And given what we know about what Lorelai said, it makes me feel a certain type of way and not in a good way. So this was maybe a week ago.
How are you?
Good.
What's
I
going
can't
on?
believe you picked me.
No, I didn't. I didn't pick you.
Oh.
This guy picked you.
Oh.
I'm just
Hi.
kidding. No, not really. Teddy picked you.
I'm so happy right now. I never got to talk to a celebrity.
Okay, you want to talk to a celebrity? Hold on. Hand me Teddy. You want to talk to a celebrity? Hold on. This is the real celebrity right here.
He's so cute.
Oh my God, I love your little voice. How are you doing? You have such a
Good.
nice voice.
I love your
Where you
little
at? Where you
I'm
at?
in Michigan.
Oh my God, listen to you. Now, are you going to school or what's going on?
I'm not going to school because of Corona, so
Oh, sorry.
it's fine. It's actually really a blessing.
It is. And are you in high school, college?
I'm going into 8th grade.
Oh shit. Okay, good. That's awesome. Let's do a screenshot.
Did you see that? Like he's like showing the dog and he's, oh crap. She's like, if she's going into 8th grade, that means she's 13 years old.
Yeah. Ready?
Thank you. I can't.
Okay. I have a question for you. Why do you always want to brush your teeth?
Huh?
Why do you always want to brush your teeth?
Because you gotta stay healthy and you gotta have a white smile.
No, because it makes your mouth smell pretty.
Oh.
I'm going down for that one.
I can't believe that you picked me. I'm so happy.
You're so sweet. I'm happy too.
I'm going down for that one. Like he knew after he said it, it was so inappropriate. You're telling a little girl that she should brush her teeth so her breath smells pretty. That's so beyond. And we know why he's saying that. He said that to Rose, who he wanted to kiss. And if you don't want to kiss someone, why else would you want their breath to smell good? Right? That's my opinion, at least. And given what we heard from Lorelai this week, it's just like another ick factor to him. So there's been some discussion that maybe TLC now is going to step in and sort of manage his social media, or he's going to have like a PR team or something. I don't know. I haven't really been able to determine what direction that's going to go. But that really, for sure, made my skin crawl when Carla says it's her first time seeing this clip of Ed. Carla, as a new member, you get this up here. She says, first time seeing the clip of Ed, yuck. I would be livid knowing my granddaughter, who I raised, was doing this with this perv. So gross, so gross. Exactly. And Barb D says, he's a pig. So there is that. And then, Carla continues, the sickest part is that he knows, just as you pointed out, like if you caught that, he was just like, oh, I'm going to get killed for this. You know what I mean? Like he knew what he did was so wrong and he just said it anyway. Okay. So I don't know where the parents of these kids are. He does this with kids all the time. He's live with kids constantly and parents are like, pick my kid. And you know who we can thank for all the kids on his stream? PewDiePie. because PewDiePie like did this stream about him and basically called Ed like the coolest person ever. So then all these kids end up going to his channel or to his Instagram, not really knowing or even watching the show. And you get this situation that we have at hand. It's so gross. Well, that's my opinion. But PewDiePie definitely catapulted him into fame because, I mean, come on. PewDiePie has what, 95 bajillion subscribers? I haven't even looked at his subscriber count in a very long time. All right. So, as difficult as it is, we have to move on to one more topic. And that is another hot topic that's been going on with social media. And that is Avery. So, Avery had somebody released this anonymous 10 truths or 10 myths thing. And it says that Avery does not have custody of her oldest daughter. She never has. Avery is allowed visitation, but rarely chooses to take her for visits. She only saw her for 30 minutes on New Year's Day. She doesn't contribute to her financially. She's got bipolar, but lies that she has it. She's not really part of her daughter's health, like her daughter's life. Hasn't ever been to one of her medical appointments. She disappeared for 3 years. She only sees her a couple times a year, and that she's been involuntarily held in like a mental hospital for her violent behavior. So this starts circulating, and it's under an anonymous account, and there's no idea, no indication of who actually released this. But safe it to say it might have been from her ex-husband maybe, or someone connected to her ex-husband. Hard to know. Avery Warner then speaks out, and she talks to In Touch, and she kind of slams it and says that like there are so many inaccurate statements in here. I don't even know what to tell you. She says that this came out because she's a public figure. I mean, obviously, when anyone becomes a public figure, even me, anyone will come out of the woodwork to say whatever they want, and people can decide it's true or not based on whatever they want, because everyone wants the salacious story. But then there's also this ick factor of people coming out of the woodwork to say things just to get attention. So there's always this balancing act of, do we trust the information or do we not, right? So she says that her ex-husband has more leverage and people to play with because she's a public figure now, and that he's trying to take full advantage of just that to exert his anger towards her. So she says that this anonymous list is filled of no evidence, and some of it is absolutely like can be refuted, like the child support part. She said that you can check in court records. She noted that she would not have been able to actually go and obtain her passport. They will take your passport if there's a court order and they're garnishing you. So you have to be current on child support. So she says she would not have been able to travel to Australia. And then in terms of like not posting about her daughter, she said, I do not post my oldest daughter on public accounts so that I can maintain and keep the peace with my daughter's father. I have regular Skype calls with her outside of our times together, and I just posted a video on Facebook a couple weeks ago of me celebrating her birthday virtually. She says she has proof that she's current with the state of Washington because she can't get her passport otherwise. And then in regards to the bipolar, she said that she suffered from severe postpartum depression after she had her daughter, which she sought medical help for. And she said that it's nothing for her to be ashamed of. It happens to a lot of women. She said it happened to me with both of my kids, and I was able to achieve a positive recovery after both. That is what his statement was referring to. She also suspects the person that released this, she says, has an extensive criminal history. She pointed out that just a few years ago, she was able to get 3 contempt charges filed against her husband for not following the parenting plan and withholding her visitation. And she said, I'm not writing this in hopes to change my haters' minds, although I would hope it would shine a little light. The actual reason I'm writing this is because I would hate for my oldest daughter to potentially stumble upon this information in the future on the internet and have her in pain, her seeing it that I didn't stand up for our relationship together. I don't want that side to be the only side out there. So some of the things that she didn't necessarily refute were doctor's appointments. She didn't refute the doctor's appointment issue. She also didn't refute something about their recent visits with New Year's Day. But, the visits would be really tough. Let's just say if they live far apart from each other. But then most states, especially the state of Washington, has been in lockdown for a very long time, because if you remember, some of the first cases reported in the country were where? In Washington state. So there is a lot. And, it's hard to... Who is it for any of us to say what somebody's mental health diagnosis is? I try to be of the belief that when you talk about it in terms of like what this person says they're diagnosed with, that we do our best not to speculate. I mean, sometimes it's hard because we see patterns of behavior, but factually saying something like she has this diagnosis without providing any evidence, that's pretty sketchy at best. And I think anytime we see sort of these anonymous sources, we always have to take things with a grain of salt. And I feel like with custody cases, there's always going to be two sides. Custody cases are always extremely contentious. And obviously, when you have these sort of factors going on, you're not going to have, you're going to have mom's side and dad's side. And then there's the truth. But if it is in fact that she's doing this, and now Ash stood up and said, she's a good mom. She went out of her way to contact her daughter. She's not this horrible person that everyone is saying that she is. So that's what I have for you there. I just want to make sure that I can double check the live stream to see if there were any other... My chat here looks like it's completely stalled. Okay, there we go. Why is it so much harder for the innocent people to prove they are innocent and someone like Ed can just go about publicly behaving inappropriately without difficulty? Yeah, this is something I think a lot of people struggle with online, is that once somebody puts out an allegation, whether or not it's true, I think some people will just say whatever because they know that there's a certain population of people that no matter what are not going to do their due diligence and actually look for the proof or the evidence, right? So I didn't actually report on this 10 truths because I really wasn't sure if it was true or not. But there is definitely, even on YouTube, there are pockets of people on YouTube that if you tell someone that I hate this YouTuber, people will say, oh, I hate them too. You know what I mean? And we shouldn't really be making these sort of statements about people. We cannot like someone, but we want to make sure that we're factually basing things before we make claims. Or if you're talking about things, that you're saying things like, this is my opinion, or this is what I think, because opinions and stuff, you can't control that. But we shouldn't be putting out absolutes like that. Dora says, I don't even bother. If you don't want to believe my innocence, that's whoever is accusing me. Yeah, and inappropriate isn't illegal. I don't know what that is in conjunction to, Anna. Stacy says 3 sides, his side, her side, and the truth. It can lead to a mob mentality. So, is there probably a complex history? Was maybe her PPD, did it maybe lead to some stuff that happened? Nicole says, or accusing someone of something that you've been called out for doing yourself. Touche. Jesse says, Ed gives me the creeps as a mom. I don't let my kids talk to anyone like me. So, long story short, what have we learned today? Ed is a creep. In my opinion, Ed is a creep. He made that really weird comment to that girl about making her breath smell pretty. Lisa and Amber, in my opinion, are both problematic. I'm not going to put this on either one of them to blame. It takes 2 people to get into a situation like this. It takes 2 people to have a fight like that. And if one person disengages and isn't a part of it, there's no fight, and then it's just another person screaming. And that's what I was trying to tell her. I was like, just disengage and let Amber scream. Who cares? Eventually, the person that's screaming is going to be the one that looks like the crazy person, right? Or not the crazy person, the irrational person. I'm sorry, you guys. I know you guys don't like it when I say that, and that just came to my mind. And I try to be more mindful of saying like that. But yeah, like people start looking irrational, you know? And if you're not defending yourself and they just keep piling it on, let them look like the irrational people they are, trying to prove a point that nobody needs to prove. Alistair asks, how am I doing? And I'm going to say, I'm doing good. Today's been a pretty good day. I've had so many amazing messages from all of you. I want to thank you guys all for your support. There's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and I'm not going to really be commenting on it. So I just want you guys to know that all of your really kind messages have been very well received, and I appreciate all of your support so, so much. Lisa was charged. I was not charged for being a creep, and many people to dialogue with Ed like a circus. Okay. Everyone's entitled to feel how they want to feel. Like, I find his behavior creepy. Other people may not find his behavior creepy. Other people might just be like, oh, it's just innocent, you know, but then my brain is like, how do you discount what happens with Rose? How do you discount the allegations that Lorelai has put out there? How do you discount all of these like relationships and all of these weird comments that he's making on social media? It's a lot for me to take in. So, but if you feel differently, you are absolutely have that point of view. And obviously, Ed is innocent of anything because I can't prove any of it. And so obviously I have, Ed has not confirmed nor denied any of the stuff related to Lorelai, nor has he confirmed nor denied any of this inappropriate behavior that other people have come forward with stating. So with all of this, my biggest point of view and my biggest point is online is a really crazy place. We can get really passionate about the people that we watch, whether it's on YouTube or on reality TV. But at the end of the day, we should always remember that the people that are giving you entertainment are people. We should not be interfering with their private lives. Like, you can report on things related to them, you can be critical of them, but we shouldn't be doing things to be interfering with what's going on with them. We also should be really mindful of, just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true. I feel like we have a lot of takeaways here. It takes two people to tango, right? So many things here. Could Ed prefer underage girls? I have no idea. So that's what we saw, what we have for you today. It's time for me to eat. Thank you guys so much again for all of your love and all of your support. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And it's, with every single storm that I come against, like, we will weather it and we will get through it. And I'm just going to focus on me, and I'm going to focus on you, and I'm going to focus on bringing you entertainment and bringing you dialogue and bringing you content that relates to my channel. And I'm going to stay focused on being super positive and really working with and helping other people who are in this line of work as well. I really want to remind people that in this world of blogging, the best thing that we can always do is help one another. Like, collaboration and support goes so much further than any other thing that you can do. Collaboration and support is the number one thing and the number one way that you and somebody else can launch your careers forward. I just want everyone to know that you can watch whoever you want to watch. You can do whatever you want to do. None of that matters to me. I don't want to hurt anybody else's businesses. I don't want to harm anybody else's reputations. I'm going to just keep doing me, and I hope others will do them too. All right? So I will be back later tomorrow, probably, and I hope you guys have a good night.